Leighton Hewitt that he'll be a formidable opponent in any form of the sport, and equally over the last 12-18 months in particular, the volleying prowess has improved, where he's equally at home at the net as he is at the back of the court. And the only area that he suffers from, perhaps, as far as being one of the really outstanding mixed players, is in service power. And the real outstanding mixed players often have that ability to really intimidate the females in particular with outstanding service power.
But they were in the finals of the mixed doubles at Wimbledon in the year 2000. So got to have a pretty good serve on grass to really get the full benefits out of that. And I think that these two guys out here today, even though Leighton said he played with Alicia when they were 12 years old, he won't be drawing from too much of that experience. That was very clever of him. Time.
We're about to see the opening service game, and it's great to see that almost no one has left. A tremendous crowd in today. Glenn Mitchell talking earlier about the figure, a record figure, 8,486, and they're packed to the rafters here for this, or the Hewitts for this mixed doubles encounter, and that's a great boost, isn't it, for doubles tennis?
Well, I think that's one of the many reasons, I guess, for the success of this Hopman Cup format. The spectators have different interests, and whether you like women's singles, men's singles, or mixed doubles, there's something here for everybody. So mixed doubles in particular doesn't really achieve the coverage from media outlets in the regular Grand Slams, etc. So here it's got an opportunity to be given some sort of profile, and we've got basically many of the world's best players playing, so why wouldn't you stay around? So wonderful opportunity for the Perth crowd here, who over so many years have supported this event and continue to do so.
And the umpire Jane Harvey informing the crowd gathered here the format for this particular doubles encounter. It is 2 sets, but then if it's 1 set all, we have the super tiebreaker, a 10-point affair. We saw one yesterday. It was entertaining. It was introduced in the US Open, and I think we might see another one again today. Certainly it will keep the tennis pumping along into the evening. Leighton Hewitt. Nice opening, swinging serve wide to the forehand.
It's the way to start, and that's the serve that is so effective in mixed doubles. The males swinging the ball wide to the female's forehand side, and of course the ladies generally not as tall, don't have the reach, so that wide swinging serve does pose them some problems.
Federer tried to blaze one down the line. Gee, he was in terrific touch in that second set against Leighton Hewitt too. He was picking them off left, right and centre, wasn't he?
Big faultless tennis.
From Hewitt's perspective, though, in that match, it was a bit like a routine Harry Potter novel, and then all of a sudden Stephen King turned up before he put that down and got back to Harry Potter again in the 3rd set. Good court coverage, good net coverage, particularly from the Swiss pairing there.
We've spoken that Hewitt may not have played that much mix, but I would suggest that Alicia's played even less. She's going to have to pick out the female opponent,
which she could have done a little bit better there. You really don't want to be hitting it to the team's strength, which is obviously going to be Roger Federer for the Swiss side, but they haven't had a problem winning that first game.
Well, it is a special formula, really good mixed doubles, as we hear the section of the crowd chanting for the Aussies. But as Louise suggested, it's all about, in any format, picking out the weakness, and without being sexist, normally the females are slightly the weaker due to lack of physical strength and reach, etc. So it's important that from the female's perspective that they probably play towards the opposing female.
Brilliant reflexes from Hewitt.
Love 15.
That racket's like a magnet to the ball. Just looks like he's always there behind the ball.
Well, Federer thought they'd nailed the tee.
Well, Leighton, no qualms about going to the lady there. Ball was lowish, and just took the opportunity of adding a little extra top spin to get it over the high part of the net and curl it down the line.
Is that ungentlemanly conduct early in the match?
Well, not in this particular format. It's each person for him or herself.
I'm sure Roger will.
He'll reciprocate?
Yeah, absolutely.
Love 40.
Well, both the boys have gone from complete black to complete white for the mixed doubles. Didn't notice the fashion statement in that, boys.
We'll leave that to you.
Well, Leighton there perhaps guilty of lobbing to the wrong side. He elected to go cross-court over Federer, who is obviously much taller than his female partner. And Federer there, very secure overhead.
Well, that's that swinging wide serve, which Alicia and Miroslava will have a problem with. It's so hard, certainly when it's a short one and it's way up in the box, it's very hard to make that gap or that angle.
Still one break point for the Australian pairing of Hewitt and Mollick.
Game Australia.
And there it is. Climbed all over that backhanded Hewitt, and he couldn't control that low volley Federer. And so it's 2-love now. Mollick and Hewitt over Vavrinec and Federer. Good start for the Australians.
Alicia Mollick to serve for Australia.
Leighton's so quick that he even runs for the ones that go out. He can get them all.
Just likes running, I think, doesn't he?
Incredibly fast.
Like Steffi Graf, just always seem to be willing to run. See there, both Leighton and Alicia side by side, almost the same height, so there's more to think about from the Swiss perspective when lobbing, because Alicia almost as tall and powerful, perhaps overhead, as Leighton.
Probably just doesn't move back as quick or as fast as Leighton would. Her steps forward and sideways are quite good. Moving backwards, she seems to perhaps be a little bit slower.
Excellent return from Federer. Mollick serves up around the 170 mark, 170 kilometres an hour mark.
And it's a good point for the Australians. Good serve. It was a very good return from Vavrinec, but the Australians always in control of that point. 40 the advantage with the Australians, 40-30, and a good finish. So a point for a 3-love lead on the second serve.
Game Australia.
And a wild swing from Federer. Sees that as the scoreline and a healthy opening for the Australian pairing.
Australia leads
A
3
few
games.
whispered thoughts between the two as they retreat. 3-love in the first set of this doubles encounter at the Hopman Cup.
Well, it's nice to be able to partner from Hewitt's perspective, someone who serves as well as Alicia does. But, the serve always such an important part of the sport, and so it is with doubles. The ability to get some quality first serves into play, well directed, and get into the net quickly to back it up is vitally important. And here is the service motion of both the men out here. Both got a nice straight left arm delivery, really reaching up with the left arm to place the ball in the air. Hewitt with slightly the bigger arch in the back and slightly the better shoulder rotation, and certainly more of a lean into the court. You can see him there, his angle into the court, his body leaning into the serve is better than that of Federer. And for someone who's not exceptionally tall, Hewitt has certainly improved the pace of his first serve over the last 12 months or so, and certainly the consistency. He's now wishing to serve successfully well over 60% of the time, whereas in the past the first serve percentages have often been down below 50%.
A little bit of pressure on Miroslava Vavrinec now.
15
Good first points. She could play all four like that.
I think Roger realises he's going to have to be as active and move as much as he can to try and help his partner out here. They really need to get this game.
Oh, good stuff from all players, and particularly Federer there. He was always looking for an opportunity to become involved, and here he's faked Hewitt. He's gone to go to the centre and stayed there, got the volley. Now he's gone again, taking a risk, but that's certainly his role out there when at the net. He's got the reach, and he has to use it. Now that was gentlemanly, Peter. It was, Hewitt had an opportunity there really to rifle a forehand down past Miroslava Vavrinec. Elected not to.
Well, it's a tough ask here for Vavrinec. She's a rather imposing figure at the net, is Mollick, very statuesque. And naturally, most of the stuff's been going by her. Good evasive skills in the point previous to the last one.
Game, Switzerland.
Just got a belly button piercing.
Well, the Swiss team are on the board in the Hopman Cup doubles, and the Australians still with that lead now of 3 games to 1 in the first set. Leighton Hewitt back in the frame after his victory, 6-3, love 6-6-4 over Roger Federer. Beautiful touch there with the backhand topspin lob coming from Miroslava Vavrinek. Perfect placement.
Gave himself some room there, Federer, but in the end, Hewitt's serve was just a little shorter than Federer expected. Had to reach too far forward, lost his pace.
30-50.
It's a trademark of success. I think poor Miroslava is going to start standing right out on the right-hand side of this court.
She's been burnt out there a few times, hasn't she? So she's going to need to look to cover it a bit more.
Well, that's great play by the Australians. Nice deep volley that Leighton Hewitt got back, almost landing on the baseline. And Alicia really following up with 2 great volleys here. So look at the 2 of them ducking down so Alicia can get that volley. They move across, thinking that it was going down the line. That was
Game, Australia.
The Australians taking that game
Australia leads 4 games.
quickly and easily. 4-1 the lead now in this first set. And we've had quite a number of responses on the net today, and one of them came from Nina Coward in his interview after the game. Leighton Hewitt mentioned he just had 2 weeks off. What would 2 weeks off mean to a player like Leighton Hewitt as compared to his standard training level? He probably would take them off completely, wouldn't he, Jeff? The 2 coaches will bow to you.
Yep, he was suffering from a niggling hamstring problem as well at the end of the Davis Cup, and he would have needed just a couple of weeks of rehabilitation there to ensure that that was no longer an issue. As we have a look, Louise, perhaps at the girl serves.
Well, as you can see, the 2 girls here, there's a little bit of a difference in actually the backswing. The main difference with Miroslava is that she doesn't get that looping follow through, or the backswing, sorry, down behind her back. They both get good extension up, nice and tall. However, Alicia seems to have a little bit more the classical serve. She gets herself nicely up and into the ball, into the court, gets a lot of power going forward, and especially in doubles would be looking to really try and serve and volley as much as possible.
Roger Federer on the men's circuit. Well, Hewitt at his best out of court. He managed to fire the way past the 2 Swiss players.
Well, he does possess one of the world's best topspin lobs, and this was a good decision. Miroslava not so tall at the net, and that lob was too good.
30-50.
Well, Leighton really going for the swinging half-court volley there. Not wanting to see that one come back. Just going for a little bit too much.
40-50.
Powerful serve from Federer gives the Swiss a little bit of breathing room.
Switzerland.
And they indeed register another game. The Australians, though, leading 4-2 at the Hopman Cup first set. 18 minutes in duration.
That was a very nice second serve there from Alicia. Getting it nice and deep. Not getting it too short so Roger can really step in and play a very aggressive ground stroke off that first one.
Good service game from Mollick. It takes Australia to a 5-2 lead in the first set. Great control throughout there from Alicia Mollick. And her confidence at a peak after that earlier victory today. 6-3, 6-4 over Vavrinek. And now partnering Leighton Hewitt.
Here's Miroslava Vavrinek, focused, as is Alicia. Mixed doubles or any form of doubles, everything happens so quickly. You've got to be alert. The reactions have to be sharp. Really intensely focusing on what's happening ahead of you rather than looking back to see what your partner's doing.
Looks like a dream sequence.
It does indeed. And the look on Leighton Hewitt, probably always just a little bit more focused than most. He's
no
so
blinking.
Determined. No.
The icy stare.
That was it. A little bit like Jelena Dokic. Her eyes were so wide open whenever we saw some close-ups of her, either here at the Hopman Cup or wherever she's playing around the world, totally opened and focused.
And there we are, a section of this vast crowd at the Burswood Dome enjoying the fair this afternoon. Well, she's unleashed that forehand. And said, Roger, cop this.
She certainly saw an opening and drove it straight down the tram lines. Always a good thing to do against the guys, especially when they're moving a lot. You want to keep them at home.
Good judgment. It's one of those occasions I think she was hopeful it was going out. But in the end it was a good decision. It missed by the barest of margins.
You need to have a good temperament playing mixed doubles together if you're a partnership, as the Swiss pairing are, on the court and then back home to fix up the spaghetti bolognese. You wouldn't want to be doing that under a bit of pressure of a bad match, would you?
Don't recall too many successful mixed combinations that were married, or if they were married, they soon became unmarried, perhaps.
That probably was a little bit more so in years past when the tour was more closely played together. I guess the men's and women's tour is so separate these days.
40-30.
I don't think Andre Agassi and Steffi Graf, did they ever play mixed doubles together? That's not where they met, was it?
Don't think so.
They may well in the future.
Game, Switzerland.
He pounced well at the net with Roger Federer. The Australians, though, still with that advantage in this first set of the break. They lead 5-3.
And with Hewitt to serve here, let's see if he decides to go wide again to the forehand of Vavrinec. It's paid dividends for him to this point. Played in a change of strategy in this game from the Swiss combination. Both players back on the baseline with Hewitt serving, certainly for the first point when Vavrinec was returning. Federer was back on the baseline with it. It worked.
Well, what a points between these two teams. Fine serve from Hewitt. It was a brilliant return from Federer. And then the rallying was equally as good.
Particularly like watching Leighton Hewitt's footwork here. He was very much on the ball. Both the Australians had great footwork back, getting back into the net. There's that wide serve again. Comes up about 50% of the time.
Well, she's going to need to just look for it a little bit more, perhaps, Vavrinec, but also technically she's got to move more diagonally, cut the ball off. She's just moving parallel to the baseline at the moment. It's getting away from her. She's missed it.
Well, it was just sitting up for Alicia Molik. She knows it too. 30 all.
Federer, I think, is going to stay back at the baseline again with his partner here, hoping to become a little bit more involved.
And that's really just in case she sprays a little bit of a bad return, that they still have somewhat of a chance to get that ball back if it comes back his way.
Set point here for the Australians. Hewitt on a second serve. Reflexes again to the fore. Crisply putting the volley away for a first set to the Australians. 6-3 over the Swiss combination.
Well, this was a good return, and Vavrinec did the right thing going for the volley, but she didn't do enough with it here, and you can see Hewitt with the reflexes able to just direct it back down into the open court. So good effort from the Swiss combination, and certainly Miroslava Vavrinec, she's acquitted herself rather well, considering she's very much the least experienced as far as exposure to this level of play is concerned. She's done quite well, but Hewitt and Molik, they were tough, and Louise, I think they're going to be a formidable combination throughout this event. Definitely.
I like to see Leighton Hewitt sitting down there at Change of Ends smiling. They look very happy together. Love his volleying. He really is coming in well today, and they're working so well together. They're bridging that. It's like a wall. When they come in together, they don't want to leave any gaps. Well, Leighton, if a ball goes over your head and you're playing with Leighton Hewitt, you would never be nervous, because I've never seen anybody move so fast backwards for a ball or across the court. In fact, he just is so quick. He reads the ball well. There's Alicia putting up that high ball. But very good play at the moment from the Australian pair. Vavrinec probably preferring to stay back for most of the points and hoping that her partner Roger is going to interfere at the net a little bit. Here's a look at that backhand that was so nice. It was a good return that Roger hit, and Alicia was up for the smash, couldn't quite put enough to it. Like her high backhand there, she just punches it out, doesn't take a big swing, but when the ball's coming so hard, say from Roger Federer, when that ball is travelling so quickly through the air, you really do not want to take a big swing on your volley. You just want to get that wrist out in front, lock it and block it out there. Be as firm as you can. You don't have a lot of time to think when you're playing against some of these guys.
Australia's leading 6-3, looking for a clean sweep in this first match of the Hopman Cup.
Well, again, Miroslava Vavrinec there, just not quite doing enough with that first volley. Just gave Leighton Hewitt too much time to react and adjust.
First serve. Love 30.
Early trouble on the Federer serve, and Hewitt exhorting his partner to really go for it this one, perhaps.
(15-30).
Well, it was the scissors move that was endeavouring to be implemented from the Swiss, but too good a return from Hewitt, and Vavrinec just couldn't get across quickly enough to the open court.
Game Australia.
The Australians break early in the second set too. Wide return from Federer. He was under a little bit of pressure deep. The Australians 6-3, 1-love they are leading, and well, why not smile?
There's Kim Kleisters watching Leighton. She spent plenty of hours here out today scheduling her practice and watching his matches, and as they must do at pretty much all of the Grand Slams, she obviously wants to watch his matches, and you often see Leighton out there putting some hours in watching hers as well. Difficult to schedule sometimes.
Jason Stoltenberg, left of screen there, Leighton's new coach.
15 love.
The Australians grouped with Argentina, Spain and Switzerland in the event of a tie in the group in the round-robin format. It will be going on the highest total of matches won. And thereafter, best percentage of sets won or lost. So each match has its own level of importance, and they'll be playing to win every one naturally.
I think it's so important that they feel confident in the case that it is a one-all a rubber, and they really will have to rely on the mixed doubles. It's nice to know you've got a couple under your belt.
30 all.
Well, that's one of the differences between the two opposing ladies at the moment. Malik able to just generate a little more pace off the volley than Vavranek has been able to do.
And unplayable from Leighton Hewitt right down the centre. Vavranek was anticipating that swinging one to the forehand. It's just going to put that little bit of doubt in her mind now, isn't it?
That's the easiest one.
Hewitt with some wizardry there with the rackets.
Juice.
It really had to be his point, didn't it?
Well, the half volley between the legs. He just got the back end of that rally, but earlier he'd come in and pick up the ball with a half volley between the legs and then missed the easiest one.
Advantage Australia.
There you go. The wide one again to the forehand court.
Well, that shot between the legs really has to be executed with some precision.
One must know where the racket head is at all times.
Juice.
Alicia there endeavouring to make an interception. Just left her cross a little late. You can see she waits very close to the centre line, gives herself every opportunity to become involved.
Advantage Australia. Game Australia.
Well, the Australians seemingly walking through this match. The Swiss might need a bit of Federer
Australia leads 2 games.
Zonal play as in the second set of the singles match. They desperately need something at the moment. Trailing 3-6, love 2 now.
Love 15.
Well, I don't think that's the zoning we want. He was a little snoozy on that volley.
Got him.
Love 30.
Volley obviously too short and right at the midsection. Totally right at the right hip is the place to go. Very difficult to get the racket either on the backhand or forehand volley side if the ball's at the right hip.
If the ball does come right at your chest or straight at your body, you have to basically hit that backhand volley. Really, you can't get your racket around to hit the forehand. Can you, Jeff? It's a tough one. It's a reflex one, but you really have to face with the backhand side of your racket.
Yep, absolutely. Got him again. And Federer can't be criticised. He's looking to move out towards the middle a little to help his partner out. And the moment he steps towards the middle, just a fraction too far, Hewitt's good enough to make him pay.
Probably feels he deserves one or two of those, does Roger Federer. Not all going smoothly for the Swiss pairing at the moment.
Little I formation to be played.
First serve. Juice.
Hewitt
Yeah.
climbing all over the ball everywhere. Really wanted a piece of that.
I thought Roger was saying out off that first shot that Miroslava was going to hit that first volley.
I think she did the right thing in playing it.
Absolutely.
Advantage Switzerland.
Doing a little down the line drilling practice at the moment.
Juice.
Well, that scissors formation that they were employing there, the Swiss, is pretty dangerous on the second serve, because the second serve is just coming through that little bit more slowly, which gives the receiver too much time to change their option once they see the opposition in motion. So it's good that they're trying different tactics, but off the second serve, a little dangerous.
Advantage Australia.
Sluggish second serve from Vavrenek gives the Australians another break point.
Well, if Roger was going to intercept this, I wonder what he's thinking. Is it coming down the line or cross court? Leighton's been varying it a lot.
Game Australia.
Consecutive doubles to concede a very, very soft game for the Australians.
Australia leads 3 games to love.
3-love, second set, and Mollick and Hewitt 6-3 in the first, with a bit of a stranglehold on this dead rubber, but looking for a 3-0 victory over the Swiss pairing in this first Hopman Cup match.
A few stats to be looked at. Take this opportunity to see the aces from the Australian perspective. Pretty healthy count there, 5-1. First serves into play. Hitting that stat as well, 67%. It's also a good statistic. And when they go into play, Mollick and Hewitt having success 3/4 of the time. No double faults from either Hewitt or Mollick. Vavrenek and Federer struggling to win only half the points when their second serve is being used. No break points at all for Vavrenek and Federer, so it really has been the Australians very much in control in this match. And of course, all players at the net regularly in mixed doubles or any form of doubles, but Australians really showing their superiority, certainly to this point, and the Swiss combination trying hard, trying different strategies, etc., but Australians with all the answers.
So it's Alicia Mollick to serve. 3-love up the Australians. Second set.
Love 15.
It doesn't look as though we're going to see it in this particular match, but the 10-point super tie break really being pumped hard by tournament director Paul McNamee. Feels it can bring some relevance back to doubles. Have it as the entree to some of the main events, instead of a long lingering dessert, which some of the doubles matches have been over the years. He wants to bring the time frame down on it so promoters and tournament organisers can place it more securely.
Well, a little fortunate there perhaps from Mollick, but good volleys make their own luck.
15.
Technique was good, the racket was out in front. Of course, once you've got the racket out in front, you're relatively close to the net, well, the ball will go forward. So it's a matter of backing your own reactions and reflexes, and Mollick, she's very comfortable in the front part of the court.
Peter
40-15.
played the Pro-Am last night. Did you have a chance to play mixed doubles or just doubles?
I did play mixed doubles. Actually played with a former Perth champion, Siobhan Drake Brockman.
Yep.
Former Australian junior champion, in fact.
Game Australia.
Indeed, and she's still got quite a good touch too. Very good from the baseline.
Australia leads 4 games to
Now,
none.
did she teach you anything last night?
The manual is yet to be written on what I need to learn about tennis. It's rather large. 4-love the Australians leading in the second set, 6 games to 3, so they really have that in the grip. But it was most enjoyable.
Love 15.
I tell you what, Jeff, I thought there were a few ring-ins there last night, though, with some very heavy service games. Some of the amateurs were actually playing a touch better than some of the pros there last night.
You were looking at me when you were referring to some
No,
of the pros
not
not
at
carrying
all.
their weight.
Not at all, Jeff.
No,
Still
you're
with
right.
all the touch. You made the final.
That's right. That was a good night, and it's great to see these pros out there playing.
15.
Paul McNamee in the front of screen next to his dad, Stan.
Take that one. Sometimes
15.
the angle is better than the overhead bounce. He was trying to put a bit of topspin on that one to get over Alicia Mollick's head, but she's almost 6 foot.
This was the previous point where the lobbing and smashing drill was in operation. There you can see Leisha's enjoying it, saying, come on, let's continue this, but it wasn't to be. Oh, long.
Oh, good defensive play from Alicia Mollick. And all of a sudden she
30-40.
had that tantalising point within reach after it seemed to be out of reach. Vavrenek not making enough of the earlier opportunities.
That was a wayward volley.
I think it was a late wayward.
Juice.
That was a nice serve. I'm not sure even Leighton tried to move for that one.
Advantage Switzerland.
Sometimes those serves that come with a lot of heavy topspin are harder than the ones, more difficult to play back than the ones that are coming flat and hard. And you can pick your spot and just get the racket behind, take a short swing, stay down low, try to punch it back forward.
Game Switzerland.
Well, they're on the board in the second set. The Swiss pair of Vavrinec and
Australia
Federer.
leads 4-1.
The Australians leading comfortably though, 6-3, 4-1 at the Hopman Cup.
We saw the Aussies in tandem before. Now here's the Swiss combination. You can see Miroslav Vavrinec looking ahead. Both players looking to cover the middle. Roger's a bit close. He needs to backtrack, ready to cover the lob. Split step there from Vavrinec. Not particularly comfortable at the net. Closing a little much there, and Federer having to cover the lob, but the lob fortunately wasn't so deep. Vavrinec now back, and Federer holds his position, hoping that if his partner smashes well that he can then become further involved. See that left arm up, tracking the ball. A little cramped. Backhand smash, one of the tougher shots in the game, takes some real strength. Federer needing to come back into the picture to take the net position. And it is very much good doubles about understanding your court positioning, understanding your partner's court positioning and covering accordingly. And that's why it does take some time with a regular partner, so that you both develop that understanding that is so required in the art of doubles.
15 love. Love.
Routine stuff for Leighton Hewitt at the moment, just rifling through this service game, looking for a 5-1 lead in the second set.
Game Australia.
We didn't have the stopwatch on that game, but it was blisteringly quick, and the Australians lead 5-1.
5-1.
6-3, they've taken the first set in this doubles encounter, and so the Swiss will be serving to stay in the match.
Sounded like Kookaburra's laugh. I'm not sure if that was taped, real, or someone with the ability to project their voice in many different ways.
Love 15.
Not 3 in a row, isn't it, from Vavrinec?
Yes, that's right. The last service game, she finished with 2 doubles, and she's not a natural serve volley. You can see almost after the serve that the body momentum has stopped, and then she's got to take off towards the net. To be a serve volley, it all needs to flow. It's a pause, and then she goes.
I think she thinks a little bit too much about her second serve also. She's starting to already think what the return is going to be like, and if you're facing Leighton Hewitt, you know it's always going to be tough, so you can get a little tense on that second serve because you want to try to make sure it goes deep.
Well, they're still in good spirits, Federer and Vavrinec. A little bit daunting now. Oh, fine controlled return from the Vavrinec. Oh, they're really cramping at the room, but Hewitt again has the answer. And that brings up 2 match points for the Australians.
Game, set, match, Australia. 2 sets to love.
Well, the Australians
6-3,
make it
6-1.
3-0 in this first match of the Hopman Cup. And they've defeated the Swiss pairing in the singles and the doubles. And a really conclusive victory there, 6-3, 6-1. I think the Swiss pairing will have to be a little bit disappointed with the way they finished off this match after competing at various times during the singles encounters, but they were well and truly outplayed here this afternoon.
Well, they were really. It was all Australia from every facet there, Louise. They were stronger in the serve and return of serve department, and certainly at the net as well.
Definitely, well, all 2 teams, 4 people on the court were really volleying very well today, but I think the big differences probably were in the serve, especially Vavrinec struggled a little bit on the second serve. She finished off with a couple of double faults, and I do believe that she gets a little worried about the return that's coming back, because if you're playing Leighton Hewitt, that certainly is a tough thing to be looking at. There wasn't a whole lot of difference in the winners there. A few more from the Australians on the forehand side, a few less on the backhand side for them. Forced errors, well, there was a few more on the side of the Swiss guys. Unforced errors, they certainly were making a few more also from the Australians. I think all round, Leighton and Alicia played very, very well, very solid. I think we're going down now to courtside with Fred Stolle, and we've got the 2 Swiss pair.
Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. A record crowd here as we welcome back the defending champions from Switzerland, Miloslav Vavnovic. I can't give him that one, can't sneeze that one. That's a tough one. Roger Federer. First, a tough one for you today. Welcome to Perth, and you enjoying it?
Yeah, I enjoyed really very much. The hotel is nice. Well, the site is very nice. The people here are very nice. So.
Is the guy you're with? Is he very nice?
Yeah, he's very nice as well.
Well, it's very tough for you to fill the shoes of Martina Hingis, and she's played so well here, undefeated here, and so good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, I think, well, I think nobody can be better than Martina. she was playing so well, especially mixed doubles with Roger last year. I was in Auckland watching every match, and, well, it's tough for me to replace her.
So Roger's phone bills were pretty expensive last year, is that what you're trying to tell us?
Yes.
Yes, they were.
Well, Roger says they were anyhow, but welcome back again, and a tough one today with Leighton. It's difficult, as we mentioned, at the end of the year or the start of a new year for you fellas.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I obviously had the better preparation than he had. He only probably had like a week or 2 holidays. I had 3.5 weeks holidays plus 4 weeks of practice, so I thought I might even be the favorite coming into this match, but he's got just too much confidence right now with the Masters victory and finishing #1, but a great job from him especially.
Well, you enjoy it down here, Roger. We've seen you play here, and Peter Carter is an Australian that has helped you over the years. He's still looking after you?
No, now it's Peter Lundgren, yes. But Peter Carter's in the Davis Cup team now. He's trying to be a captain. Not trying to be, he is, but yeah, but he hasn't got the passport.
A small problem. Peter Lundgren used to play on the tour, and I know him quite well. But Peter Carter's trying to get a passport. Tough to get those Swiss passports.
Especially when you're Australian, huh?
Well, you know, you can go to the locker room. It's okay if that's the way you feel. No. But congratulations on a good effort today, and it's a tough week ahead of you, and we'll see you later in the week.